you know how I feel. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Test, 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 test. Okay. All right. Okay. Sweet. We are live. There is a very dark version of yeah, so what's happening is as the summer oh yeah, here we go. Let me start my timer so I don't talk you guys to death. In the summer, they like being in the light, but the light is getting longer and longer. So it's kind of hard to not have them lit that way. But anyway, let's see. So this one, no, it's this one. Okay. Anyway, sorry for the slightly late start. Okay. Okay. Okay, so all right, never mind. Let's just get going. Okay, so this is kind of a by request class. The ladies, the gallery here is getting kind of rowdy, so we can kind of jump in. I had a goofy sound issue, guys. We were ready to go. Tara hit some traffic in Winda because she's speeding over here from just finishing teaching a class, and then I had this sound issue. So I think we're all set. You should be hearing me. Yeah, I'm guessing no one's written no sound, so you should be hearing me just fine then. Anyway, we're going to talk about hands today, and I don't know if any of you, I have become addicted to baby Instagram. And there's this one where this dad is like, my baby discovered her hand today. I don't know if you've seen it, and it's easy to forget because we use our hands so much, just how much more they probably can do, and maybe how much more they need to do. And when it comes to hooping, even though your hoop is kind of at the um, okay, there we go. Okay, even if your hoop is on the waist or it's on your legs or wherever it is, bringing awareness to your hands will make it'll make the hoop experience feel better. It'll be more athletic, so you're getting a little bit better of a workout if that's important to you at all. But it also just looks cooler and it feels cooler, and it helps like sort of bring you in. Like, it's almost like a party's just more fun if everybody is part of the party and contributing, right? And so you can think of your hands kind of like that. They're sort of, we want to bring them off the wall, off their wallflowers. There's nothing wrong with wallflowers, but off the wall and into the hoop dance. And tonight we're going to focus on that. Anne, do you have anything? Everybody just left, but do you have anything you want to say before we start? Okay. All right. I forget to put a letter away. Okay, here we go. Yep, yep. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Well. Oh, here we go. Okay. Okay, here we go. Man, is Mercury doing that thing where it pisses everybody off? 'Cause I'm feeling that right now. Is Mercury in retrograde? Let's get it. There we go. Okay. Audible breath in. Audible breath in. Audible breath in. What's that noise? Oh. Everyone understands the sense of touch. It's easy to wrap your brain around the idea of your senses because most of us experience all of them. Audible breath in. The Maidan believed that the senses could be heightened, that there was hearing and deep hearing, that there was seeing and deep seeing. And the Maidan also believed in deep touch. And by deep touch, they meant feeling beyond the skin. Audible breath in. The Maidan did a lot of counseling as their service to the community. And they would use deep touch to help troubled people. They would send energy beyond their skin and wrap around the troubled person and connect to them with touch without touching. Audible breath in. The Maidan would dance with each other, palm to palm, but not touching. They believed they could feel the deep touch of another. Audible breath in. So for the purposes of this class, I invite you for fun to think of your hands as both receivers and transmitters, as putting out, as taking in. I invite you to imagine that you can feel the energy in the room with them. I invite you to imagine that connection is a conduit of healing. To connect with another individual is to help heal them, to help heal you. Audible breath in. Open, open, open. Big breaths into the hands. You can imagine them lit up with light. Audible breath in. Right. Oh, hey Amanda, missed you guys. Okay, sweet. Anything to say before we move on, Anne? Or?
Hey. Yeah, I love that exercise.
It's really dark.
Woo! Silhouette.
There's not a whole lot I can do about
I
it,
love
unfortunately.
I was feeling some wonderful, kind of coming alive to the senses. And one of the things I noticed is that I was trying to move both my fingers and toes a lot while moving, my hands and feet. And that was really helping me to awaken my hands and feet.
Got better.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. All right, we're going to move into our next exercise. And before you pick up your hoop, we're going to do one quick sort of artistic exercise, kind of like figure drawing or something. I'll show you. Audible breath in. Okay. So this is a movement exercise that's really just meant to help inspire new ways of moving. It's really easy to get stuck into the same patterns. In fact, I think every dancer always feels kind of or can feel stuck. And in our imaginations, we can utilize them to help us come up with new ways. So our first exercise of moving our hands is we're going to be little kids again, and we're going to stick our hands out the window of a rolling car with the windows down, and we're going to hand surf the air there. We're going to imagine that our parents were crazy and had us on the back of a motorcycle maybe, because we're going to do both hands. And then because we're dancers, we're not going to get stuck in one metaphor, but we're going to use that sort of up and down surfing type motion throughout. We can forget about the car once we get the motion down. Audible breath in. Audible breath in. And then I invite you to coordinate the movement of the hands. They don't have to do the same thing, but they're coordinated, right? Like they've each got the same walkie-talkie and they're talking into it. Essentially, one of the cool things about awareness that's different than focus is awareness can be more than one place at a time. And so I can bring awareness to each my left and my right hand. Audible breath in. Now, again, I invite you, as you're moving your hands and as they're opening up, to consider that you are inside an invisible sphere right now, that you're inside of an invisible sphere, and that sphere is as big as your wingspan. It's as big as your roll. And what I want you to imagine is traveling, sending your hands and your body, your legs, whatever, through as many parts of the northern and the southern arc of that sphere. So this is me flying my hands in the southern arc, which essentially would be how I would stretch. This would be me flying my hands in the northern arc. Tara's doing kind of an around the world type. No, we're going to keep adding pieces to this, and you can ignore, you can do your own thing, whatever. But now I want you to imagine different weights of each hand. For instance, I can let them be light, and then I can let them be heavy. I can let one be heavy and one be light. For some reason, I really like the way that one feels. If I have both my hands together, I let one get heavy and one get light. Audible breath in. One hand can get light and then travel to my northern arc, and then one hand can get heavy, bring it down to my southern arc. Audible breath in. And it's all gentle. I'm the one that's in control here. So I don't have to do anything I don't want to do. Okay. All right. All right, that we kind of went longer with that one than I thought, but I was having a good time. Are you guys doing all right? Okay. All right, let's hoop time. Totally. Don't have to imagine. Y'all are funny. That was a great sweet Jennifer. Thank you. Okay. Let's see. There we go. Okay, so we're going to start with point, but since we're having a hands class, now we're going to get into core hooping and other things. Somebody said that they broke or twisted their ankle. I think it was Lauren maybe. Tara thinks she broke her toe or did break her toe. So one of the reasons we're going with hands is for that reason. But we are going to do some core hooping if possible. But we're going to start our first exercise, and it doesn't really matter how you hold the hoop. I'm going to suggest that you get inside of it and hang it. This is called hanging point. But what I want you to do is we're going to fall back in. I'll go ahead and bring the music on. We're going to fall back into that same type of flow that we were just doing. But now we have a hoop hanging on us, and inevitably we're going to start, playing with that hoop and moving that hoop. But we're going to keep our focus on our hands, less about what the hoop is doing and more what our hands are doing. And if the hoop is not really doing anything, that's okay. No, there's no rules. These are just invitations. A long time ago, because of the hoop, I stopped caring what I looked like when I hooped. I felt like I had I'd been to the mountaintop, had gotten my 10,000 hours, and I was allowed to look weird. And I know most people are not as self-conscious as I am, but it really helped open me up creatively. Audible breath in. Instead of thinking of my skill as this product, I just sort of thought of it as a secondary result. And what kept me interested in moving my body, audible breath in, was the good feeling of moving it. I can samurai grip the hoop. I'm not suggesting you do that, but if you're ready to grip the hoop, I can still do two birds. I can still articulate my hands and focus on them. In fact, it really helps open up new movement. Audible breath in. Okay. Anne has something to share.
I have just been noticing that, even just maintaining the focus on my hands brings about new movement. And that's what I like about classes that kind of zoom in and stay close and kind of look at one element. And that's one of the things I also have appreciated about HoopPath is just, looking at the elements rather than like a sequence of moves.
Hello? Okay, there we go. Okay, so for our next exercise, we are going to kind of skip over samurai since we're kind of doing that anyway. But we're going to move into open samurai. And again, like I said before, especially in today's class, but all HoopPath classes, whatever I suggest is just a suggestion. It's an invitation. Tara doesn't have to do it. Ann doesn't have to do it. Nobody has to do it if they don't want to. I'm really here for people that aren't feeling it more than the people that are. So open samurai is when anytime that I am using my fingers to create loops around the hoop or hold it like a cigar or whatever. I don't know how many of you have cigar smoking experience, but anytime that the fingers are there, right? Twirling would be a type of open samurai. And one way you can practice twirling, especially if you're new, is to just let the hoop be on the ground. I'm just letting it sit here. And I can just twirl it, and we can go back to, we can hit hubling hard, but we can go back to that at some point later. But twirling the hoop into a hubel is cool, But anyway, you can feel that twirl down here, and then you can start to come up with cool ways to pull up from that and to put the hoop on there. But that twirling is open samurai. We've also talked about when I'm holding the hoop at the corners, my palms are facing each other and I'm holding the hoop between the first two digits here. When I have the hoop like this, for me, this is a comfortable grip, and I can do lots of cool fold, like those sort of foldy, smeary things just by and I pull the bottom, this isn't going to be a tech class so much, but I pull the bottom hand into the core and I use that as a pivot. So I've got 2 points, 1 and 2, 1, 2, and then a third point up here. And what I like about this move and what sort of slicks it up for me is that I'm in open samurai, so my hands are just allowed to just sort of pivot, and I get these nice quick little things, right? And sometimes you don't know what your wrist can do until you set up something for them. So we're going to play with open samurai. Now for you movement nerds out there, we're going to just keep stacking what we've been doing. So I'm still thinking about flying my hands. I'm still thinking about heavy hand and light hand and all those different things. I've just brought the hoop into it now. But rather than thinking about a move or whether it looks cool or whatever, I'm just moving my hands. I'm just doing a kind of type of foldy type smear. You don't need to try it. I'm just sort of showing you what I'm doing as a way of explaining Open Samurai. But I'm just doing a foldy type smear, and the whole thing is just me twirling the hoop around my fingers the same way I'm doing down here, more or less, but I'm inside of it up here. There's a fun Open Samurai isolation that you can do, and some people actually get it better by doing it this way, but I just roll it between I'll hold it between my fingers, like my middle finger's on the bottom, my top two fingers are here. And for some people, that's just an easier way to isolate for them. I can roll it all around and then come back into that. So this Open Samurai twirls on an isolation will kind of help keep you on the bottom all the time. Okay. Oh, all right. What? The one that was about to come on? Yeah, it does. It's a mix of a Ed Sheeran song. I don't know if I really want to play it right now, but unless you guys just want to. How are you guys feeling? Do you have any input or anything you want to say? Yeah, please.
So, was it Lauren is the one with the sprain? Yeah, I'm noticing too with my broken toe, it's making me find new movement. So you were talking about, how we do go into our habits, which we do, and our injuries can be an invitation to to find different ways of moving. So that's what I'm finding.
Nice. Your hair looks cool. Yeah, you can't really see because it's silhouetted. Okay. Okay, so let's see. All right, so we're gonna play kind of an upbeat song for this next one, and so here's the exercise. All right, here's the. Let me give you the. I'll give you the broad sense of this, and then the wide angle here, not literally, but the wide angle of what we're going for, and then we'll move into more of this. One of the things that can really be fun and develop your dance, and it's cool for your hands, and it's cool for your 80-year-old self and everybody in between, is to move your offhand even when you don't have to. And we've done a lot of this recently, and so that's the sort of wide angle. It's going to be focusing on moving the offhand. Now, for me, I want to take it a little bit further, and I want to practice on the offhand. Like, if I want to try and, like, for instance, I'm going to do this switch here, but when I come back, I want to come back and, like, stylize the hand somehow, whatever, okay? So I'm coordinating two hands if I hop. And so what I'm inviting you to do, so this is me doing hops, but moving the sort of offhand, right? Another thing I could do is I could roll, like if you're good at these mini tosses, I could clap. I could try to knock it. Okay, whatever. You get the sense. Okay, here we go. This is me, just give you guys a hold. So this is me just trying a whole different thing. So this is that move that we always do. I could come up and clap. If you're good at doing hops, I can clap. You're just moving your offhand. If I just wanted to roll, if I'm a super beginner, which is cool, and I just want to roll, I can still move my offhand. You probably have to be a pretty big movement geek to get anything out of this, but trust me, if you don't trust me already, it can really open up new things. It can help your reflexes. Right?
I just really noticed this one kind of picked up for me a lot in the second half. And I think about ruts and you know, changing, and it's like, oh wow, like that's how kind of in my rut I can be to where I can't, you know, kind of, yeah, I just really noticed the change the longer that I sustained the focus on moving the offhand.
Let's see. I can't remember the track I was going to play. Okay. All right, I think we should. Actually, we're going to do one more. It's almost free. Let's do one more, and this will, because I was going to say we're going to do one more hand thing, and then we'll move to core. I'm going to find a good song for this. Yeah, this will work. Actually, this will be better. We're going to go kind of upbeat for this one. All right. But what we're going to work on is horizontal rolling using the offhand. If you like doing breaks and paddles, or you could bring breaks and paddles into this, but I'll show you what I'm going for, or what I invite you to do. So we're going to just go into this normal back and forth, wasty waist, or, you know, wasty waist. I don't know what that was. I don't know. All right, now we're going to add the offhand to it. If you don't know this move, you can bring the hoop up, pin it there, yeah. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Here we go. So this is me if I like switch up the offhand. This is me if I keep the same offhand there. And then I can start to, you know, play off that motion that I'm creating. All the way around. I can roll the hoop in front. Now this is where I like to use, I really had to teach myself to do something cool with my offhand when I'm doing these rolls in front of me. Then if I want to try like some of these like pinches, you know, we've talked about pinches from the when you're outside the hoop, you know, just pinching the hoop in your arm, kind of this pretty much what you do on the core, but you're just pinching it back there. And I'm focusing, if I focus on my offhand, ooh, see? Yeah, that was old school. Yeah, there's an old school knock you can do down there, where when you're rolling the hoop around like this, from your AM hand, or that's how I do it, from my AM hand, or if it's going to my left, from my right hand, I throw the hoop onto my left leg, either under the knee or the calf. For me, it's usually around the ankle, just because that's where it just catches for me. So I'm here, catch, knock. I'm here. Oh! Well, we're at the end of class anyway. All right, so that's our last exercise. We'll skip the core since Tara's got a bad foot. No. I think, well, we'll talk about it. Oh, okay. Okay, well, if core doesn't bother you, let's do one quick core thing, because it really, moving your hands on the core, something we just have to show the people at home. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Okay, so we're going to start on the waist because that's really where this works out the best. And I know this is going to be silly, so I'm going to keep the camera mostly on me so I don't have to embarrass my friends here. But what I want you to do to practice your two birds is to somehow, like those rave kids, feeling blissed out when they dance with the music with their hands, and you can tell in their really cool mind headspace that they're in, that they believe they're controlling the music or with the music or whatever. I've been there. We've all been there. So what I want you to do is imagine, like, whatever that is. Right? you open yourself, don't force it. You don't need to force anything, but if you open yourself up to feeling for it, you can start to feel that deep touch we were talking about in sway, where I'm pushing beyond just my skin. I'm pushing, whether that's coming from my core or my hands. And so what I mean by saying that is that my hand movement is actually helping me hoop. I'm not hooping in spite of moving my hands. I'm hooping because I'm moving my hands. Now you really feel this in the shoulders, which is where Tara is. So if I come up, when people first learn to shoulder hoop, they tend to have sort of an undeveloped hand. In this case, if I'm moving my hand, then I'm most likely going to be moving my shoulders at least a little bit. We've done this before in class, but I'm up here and I can imagine, either turning 2 bowls of soup, like, not turning, what we call it, stirring 2 bowls of soup. Or I can imagine, like, waxing a car. But moving my hands is helping me hoop at the shoulders. And then if you really want to polish your core hooping, you can just use one shoulder or one hand at a time. I know I just asked you to use both, but once you get to where you're comfortable using both, then you can just use one, and that just helps you develop that one even better. And then I switch off to another hand. All right. Okay. And what's going off? Yeah.
I was like, I just caught the spirit of that song. And yeah, I don't know. There was definitely like new things happening, and which is what can be the gold of some of these slowing down and zooming in classes. Woo!
Okay,
Yeah.
so that is the end of. We need to. Yeah, that was fun. Sweet. Let's see. Water break. Yeah. Trying to do a chest pump. Okay. Sweet. Okay, let's play. Let's just keep it going. We'll move into free hoop type stuff here. Let's see. Yeah, this is an okay song. We'll do this one. Thank you, Shelley.
Driving me down.
Oh, sweet Casey. Thank you for joining us. I know it's late there. I think it's late there. Actually, maybe it's not that late. I think it's like, what, 5 or 6 there? She's in the UK. Nice, Ann. Okay, y'all, we are in our free hoop. They're just messing around. We're just messing around. Thank you guys for joining. I will be back on Tuesday for sure. And thank you. We'll keep going for a little bit. 6 p.m. Okay, sweet. Sweet, Heidi, thank you for joining us. Thank you, Lauren. I hope you heal up. Oh, I forgot. Just Evie, thank you. It's not my best camera work. Okay, y'all. Thank you very much. Do y'all have anything you want to say before we say goodbye?
One thing I did want to throw out there for people who maybe, still have a hard time with, like, what am I going to do with my hands? I find that the spiral motion, tracing the spiral motion with the hands, with the arms, or really with any part of the body, it tends to really lend itself to movement with the hoop. So just a tip.
Nice.
From me. Thanks.
Tara, you want to say
Thanks,
goodbye or
Zach.
anything? Bye, Rex. Take care, buddy. See you guys Tuesday.
Bye. Thanks.